Hi, I'm Monty and we're back at it. Only I've got to tell you, this is confession time. When we glued the top onto the rims of the guitar, and I had it over at the Go Bar deck over here, I had it situated in a way that was away from me. I felt the lid go into the grooves that I've cut on here. And so I glued it up, put the Go Bars on, left it for 24 hours, came back, and sure enough, only half the guitar was glued because the other half had not fallen into the slots. I guess when I put the Go Bar on and pushed it down, it slid, lifting it up, so when it went back down, it wasn't in the slot where I needed it. Oh Lord, what a nightmare. So what I had to do, my first thought was burn the guitar. My second thought was take the guitar and run it through the saw. And then the third thought I had was maybe I can save this thing, so I need to take the top off. So what I did, I'm going to show you here. I got my spatula. Now, I've showed you this before. This is just a standard, what is it, about 1.25 inches wide. The corners are rounded off, and then I have ground down the tip of this into a point like a chisel so that it's very sharp, very sharp. And I've also done it on the side. So I then rub it on sandpaper like this. In order, like if you get it down and you do this on sandpaper, it gives it a pretty good edge. So then what I do is I take a heat gun, and you've seen the heat guns. You can get these at the automotive supply houses. They run about $20. So you can buy that. And then what I do is I heat up the spatula, and I get it good and hot, and then I just wiggle it in. And I just kind of let it sit there until it melts the glue, wiggle it in a little more, until I get through the top, and then I start slicing. But I have to pull it out again, heat it up, put it back in, pull it out, heat it up. It took me, with this method, about 2.5 hours. I was able to get the top off. Remember, only half of it was glued, basically. I got the top off, and there was no damage done to it, so I was fortunate with that. Sanded it, made sure it's all good. I got out my great big sanding disc, sanded the rim one more time, took the router, routed out the edges so we would have a fresh glue joint. So what I did the next time, and you'll see this in the picture here, I put it in so that the tail end of the guitar was out facing me so I could be sure that it was in and secure on both ends down here. Once I had that, I knew that this would be fully secure. I put the Go Bars on here and on here like we did the first time. Went around and I could see this time, and I could see this, and it was all good. So everything worked just fine. So I glued it all up again, and I left it again for another 24 hours, and it is solid all the way around. I'm really pleased with this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the router, and it's going to get pretty noisy in here. And I'm going to run it, and I'm going to start out here at the top, right at the corner, and I go this way. And then I start here, and I go this way, and then I go this way. Then I will do the same thing. I will simply turn this around and do the same thing on the opposite side. So I'm going to cut this out, and we're going to make this all flush. And what I have in the router is a flush cut bit. It's simply a straight bit. It's got a wheel which will run around the side of the guitar. Now, you recall, and I mentioned this in the last video, that I was going to put in the sound port holes, but this little wheel could fall into one of those sound port holes and ruin my whole day. So what would happen is it would go in and it would push into the top of the guitar, and there would be no recovery from that. I would have to basically think of something entirely different in order to put shell around there to fix it and cover it up, if it was even possible. Otherwise, I'd have to take it off again and then discard this. So what do you say? I've got the goggles on, we're all plugged in, and we're ready to go. So let's give it a shot. We'll run some music while I do this. Here we go. Well, there you have it. It worked. What we have is a very good looking guitar top that is nice and clean. Take these bench dogs out and you can see firsthand what we've got here. The plate's all on, it's secure everywhere. There needs to be a little bit of work done just down in here. That some sandpaper will do that, because I don't want that coming to a particular point, not yet anyway, because we've got more to do when I put shell all around here. So believe it or not, I want to say we're coming along and it's looking pretty good. So I'm happy with this. That's it. I think I've had enough for today. I'm heading upstairs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm having a cup of English breakfast tea because I can, and it's the best tea out there. So get yourself some English breakfast tea, and no, they don't sponsor me, nobody does, and you will just absolutely love English breakfast tea. You can have it either with milk or with cream or clear, whatever is your desire. Before I do that, and you don't need to see this because this is boring, I'm going to vacuum up here, take all this sawdust off here, so when I come back to do more work, it'll be a nice clean environment. So that's it for this video. Thanks for joining me. And as always, I appreciate you. Do subscribe if you haven't done already. And I'll see you in another video. Don't forget to read the community section on the top of the YouTube channel page, because I do a lot of writing in there, and hopefully it gives us an opportunity to dialogue back and forth. It's a lot of fun. So between that writing, this, and writing the next book, I'm now up to chapter 25. By all means, I'm busy, so let's keep it going, all right? See you for now. Goodbye.